I'm your huckleberry.
They shouldn't have given you Ashy Blokes YouTube.
All right, folks. Here we go. Now, I'm going to play the clip from Kid Organic, at least as much as I can stand. Now, I finally realized the reason I don't listen to him. It's the same reason that there's a few women I don't really listen to a lot. Is because they're painful to listen to. And most guys I can actually sit through and I can listen to them without any problem. He's one of the few that I can't because he's painful to listen to. Because he sounds robotic when he talks. But that is just one of the few reasons I don't like listening to him. But I'm gonna play the clip because this is a response back and forth. I said I'd be his huckleberry. And I said it's probably not gonna take very long, and it looks like it won't. So I'm gonna play the clip and I'm gonna get right back to you.
Make this video and then I'm off of it. I'm just pointing out the Pookies and Ray Rays and the convicts. That's it. And for the rest of you grown black men to sit around on that live stream for 5 hours, gossiping for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours long. And you know, and what's so interesting is, you know, every time you see these guys, they hang in packs. They're never alone. This is that Pookie and Ray Ray mentality. This hanging out in front of the liquor store mentality. Selling dope while children is going to school mentality. This is what you have here, this jailhouse homosexual logic. For you guys to sit around and let your master teacher tell this young millennial brother that he would bust him in his rear end and then go bang his mother. And I don't know why he would even be on live stream talking to those losers. I mean, for you to have a group of black men who would sit on a live stream for 5 hours straight, gossiping about another black male. I understand doing maybe a short video, right? Or maybe just telling him how you feel. That's, you know, understandable. But for you to be at a round table for 5 hours when you could be out doing something productive with your time, gossiping like old women in a group home, in a nurse home, a nursing home, gossiping, telling other younger black men.
All right, that's enough. That's all I could play because he just repeats himself. He has something against Pookie and Ray Ray, and he has something against my 8-hour live streams, right? Which we talk about politics, we talk about geopolitics, we talk about law, we talk about women, we talk about the black community, we talk about China, we talk about Russia, we talk about Bitcoin, we talk about a whole bunch of stuff during the 8-hour hangout. That's why they're so popular. But this is what I want to say. Dude, if you were my son, I would be embarrassed for you to be on YouTube. Whoever your mother and father is, please don't identify them because somebody's going to come to them and say, how could you let your kid grow up to be so illiterate? I don't know whether you write this stuff down or not because it sounds like you write this stuff out and you're trying to read it off a script very badly, I might say. You sound like a robotic Daffy Duck. That's what you sound like. You use bad English, your delivery is stiff and robotic, you have no flow to it, and plus your pronunciation and enunciation sucks. You sound like a dude that just got off the short bus with a little helmet. Wherever your 3rd grade English teacher is, I wish I could find her so I can actually beat her behind because she lets you get out of school without learning how to speak. So you have a nerve enough to actually come online and judge somebody about what they say, how they say it, and the topics that they put up. And you Constantly, all you talked about was what? All you talked about was what? 8-hour hangouts and Pookie and Ray Ray. Man, I know crackheads that are more educated than you. Crackheads that are more educated than you and much more well-spoken. You sound like Pookie and Ray Ray hanging out in front of the liquor store while little children is going to school. I don't know why you allow your master teacher to talk about taking somebody's manhood online and not checking him about it. Need to get that fixed, man. If you're gonna come at me, at least learn to speak better. At least learn to argue better. Of course you can't debate me. You can't talk. I'm sure you can't even argue unless it's written down on a piece of paper. Because that's what it sounds like you're doing. Sounds like you have to script everything, write it all down, and try to read it. Or can you read? I'm not sure. Because it doesn't sound like it. My 6-year-old grandson speaks better than you. And you're going to come at me like you're superior? Like you're superior to Pookie and Ray Ray? 5 of those guys that were online were actually in the military. One of those guys was actually a police officer in Baltimore, if you haven't actually listened to it. Cerulean has a master's and was on the PhD program for social science. He was in the Navy for 10 years. You sound like you can't even spell the SAT, much less take it. I'm a math science major. I would talk to you about physics and the Big Bang and quantum mechanics, except it will probably take you 6 months to script out a dialogue just so we could actually talk. I'm one of the few people that can actually give an 8-hour hangout and people actually beg for more. You can't get through a 7-minute video without stumbling over your words. And you have the nerve to judge somebody? Really? You have the nerve to judge me? Really? You remedial motherfucker. You repeat. Basically, if you had written that out as an essay and I read it and you repeated your subject and your subject 3 times, I'd have failed you for unoriginal thinking. You take one theme and you repeat it and you probably write 3 pages. That's probably what you did your whole career. If you did indeed graduate from high school, which it doesn't sound like it. But then again, since I got out of school, the piss poor educational system that came after me, I'm not surprised. You probably did get your diploma. What you need to do, man, instead of bashing on Pookie and Ray Ray, what you need to do is go down to the liquor store, hang out with Pookie and Ray Ray so they can actually teach you how to talk before you judge them. If you're going to judge people, be better than they are. Because I was expecting much more of an erudite argument about something of more substance. Of course, this is the last time you're going to be addressing me because you have reached the limit of what you can talk to me about. Like I say, I can have a better, more adult conversation with my 6-year-old grandson than you. He has much more of an imagination. He actually speaks a lot better and clearer. So normally I don't like to poke at people's defects, but you're on YouTube with this bullshit and that delivery. It took me 3 times just to get through the video because every time you talk, I cringe. And if you were my son, I would cringe even more. I'd be embarrassed, man. I said, take that shit offline. Go to the local community college and get that shit fixed. Go see your speech pathologist so you can get that shit fixed. But you get online like you're Walter Cronkite. You get online like you're Barack Obama. Hell, you get online like you think you're Donald Trump. Donald Trump speaks better than you do. And you have nerve to judge somebody like you're superior? Of course you can't do a 5-hour hangout, man. You can barely get through 20 minutes of speaking without embarrassing yourself. Get the fuck out of here, man. Run along, Sonny. Go back to doing your ratchet videos, because that's what you're good at. Stay in your lane. Don't come over on this side of the fence. At least until you prove that you can do better. Because this shit, son, that shit that you just put up as a response? Are you kidding me? Well, I just want to point out Pookie and Ray Ray and the thugs and the criminals and the drug dealers. Really? Really? Man. You millennials, man. You guys are legends in your own mind. Really. You probably think you need to go out and they need to go out and give you the Nobel Peace Prize for literature, huh? Sheesh. Anyway, y'all, I told you this would be short and sweet. Told you he ain't have no smoke. He ain't got no smoke. He ain't got no imagination. He ain't got no words. He can't talk. I've heard more. Hold on. I just want to say one more thing. I've heard more erudite, lyrical, logical, consistent speeches and words from mumble rappers. Kid Organic, are you a mumble rapper? Then that would make sense. That would actually make sense. You and Cardi B need to go get together because your IQs probably match. Anyway, I'm gonna jump off of here. This is BGS out, and I will see you guys on the next one.